What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday, or I guess not happy Monday, but what's going on, everybody? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Of course, we are here to talk about Cardinals versus Seahawks. Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. And of course, I am joined by my guy here, Mythic AZ. What's up, brother, man? How are you doing today on this Monday?
Man, it's just tough loss after tough loss. We can't catch a break. So I just keep going into here, just waking up, just unoptimistic about Cardinals football, man. I mean, it's been tough the past couple of weeks. How are you feeling?
Yeah, almost the same. I think I'm kind of getting a gauge of where the fan base is right now, and I truly think that where we are right now, like I don't know, it's crazy to kind of see where we are at right now as a fan base, and I don't think anybody really cares anymore. Like that's how bad it is for this Arizona Cardinal team. Like people expected bad, but like I think people are starting to now completely turn off the Arizona Cardinals and choosing to do something else over the weekend and not watch Cardinal football. But I mean, obviously it is a testament to where the Cardinals are at, like in the season, right? We're rebuilding, but it's at some point you got to have to kind of say like we need to have something to hold on to heading into 2024. And right now the Cardinals are a 1-6 team, right? We end up losing to the Seattle Seahawks 10-20. Definitely not a good look for the next week, but I guess overall, let's dive right into it, right? Let's talk about this game, Seattle Seahawks versus the Arizona Cardinals. If you don't mind starting here, Mythic, let me know how you're feeling about, I guess, this game and what happened.
Oh, I am very fluctuant with every single thing. There's a ton of things that I like kind of grasp onto. One of them is Josh Dobbs. Once again, go figure, right? I feel like it is like the biggest talking point of this game. And the fact that we were scoreless in the second half, once again, this is back-to-back weeks. Scoreless games. And for some reason, the Cardinals just can't pick it up. They can't get anything going. And I don't know what it is. But this second half team is just abysmal. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, we keep joking about it. Like, just start Clayton Tune in that second half because Josh Dobbs sucks. It's like, how much truth does there have to be to this? Because like genuinely, I don't know if you can play Josh Dobbs two halves of football. It's so bad because this is your starter that you're rolling with, and it doesn't work. And then Josh Dobbs obviously just hasn't really panned out these past couple weeks. I mean, he's getting figured out. We kind of knew this was going to happen. Thank God Kyler is on the brink of returning, because without that, I feel like a lot of Cardinals fans' optimism would be even lower as it stands right now. And this was a big game for the Cardinals. You win it, you're 2-5. Seattle would have been, I believe, 3-3, and that just puts a really close race because the Rams even lost yesterday.
Yeah.
It could have fallen right in line, and the Cardinals just kind of sold the bag right here. Kyler Murray's on the brink of returning. With him, we probably win this game, but this is a game we needed to win. And we just dropped it. And it would have made things competitive for the rest of the season. And obviously, we're not really expecting anything, but it would have been nice to at least have something to root for. But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, we are picking 2 right now. So not everything is horrible in the world. The Patriots won yesterday. Chicago won. So we hoisted in the draft, but I don't know. I feel like this is very winnable once again. Held Seattle to 6 points and just kind of let up once again.
Yeah, no, I agree. The Arizona Cardinals, same thing that we've been dealing with every single game, right? The same things that we're talking about every single game, in terms of what do we need to do to in order for us to figure out the second half woes, right? The offensive woes is just bad, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse these last 3 or 4 weeks, right? And I'm going to throw the 49ers game. I'm going to throw the Seattle's or the Bengals game in here as well, because it's not just been 2 weeks. It's been week after week after week of the same issue that we're dealing with so far. And right now, the tally is that the Arizona Cardinals have scored 97 points in the first half compared to 30 points in the second half. And for some odd reason, Drew Petzing as well as JG is not able to figure it out. And of course, I'm still trying to grasp on why we are so why does JG truly feel like Josh Dobbs is the best option to win, right? I truly feel like tanking is it, right? This whole narrative of whole tanking, because we're doing the same things over and over again. And we talked about this last week and the week before. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's what the Cardinals are doing. Why are we giving so much of a leash to Josh Dobbs? Like it's just absolutely nuts to me. It's crazy. Like this guy was in constant duress. He was making bad reads. Now, let's be honest, right? I think we're going to be one of the very few to say this wasn't 100% on Josh Dobbs. I would say 75% to 80% this was on Josh Dobbs.
The
But
majority.
yeah, the majority of it for sure. The offensive line wasn't the best. Let's be honest. We also had DJ Humphries ended up getting ejected from this game for making contact with a official. So like a lot of things were stacked up against the Arizona Cardinals. But like, how much different excuses can we use, right? Like how many different excuses? We got what, 10 games left? For God's sake, how many more excuses can we use? Josh Dobbs ain't it. If JG truly wants to win a game, you can't keep rolling out the same CRAP every single week. You can't. And he's doing it. And it's honestly kind of getting to the point where fans are getting frustrated with the decisions that JG's making. And you do not want to put yourself in a situation because, yes, we're rebuilding. I get it, right? We have to have the patience in the world. But at the same time, when you're looking at something and it isn't working and you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're getting fans to the point where nobody wants to show up to these games anymore. Nobody wants to tune into Cardinal football. And your channel has been affected. My channel, it's obvious that Cardinal fans don't want to watch this product because Josh Dobbs ain't it. So like as you could tell, I'm getting frustrated. I'm not getting frustrated that we lost. I get it, right? We're not a good team. I understand it. My frustration comes with the decisions that are being made by the coaching staff. Now, what we've talked about in the prior weeks was how can we blame this coaching staff, right? You know, this roster is what it is. But at the same time, there's got to be something to be said about the decisions that these guys are making, right? There was a fourth down play that we ended up seeing.
Oh.
Clayton Tune finally showed up, and I was like, "Oh snap! Is that Clayton Tune?" It was a 4th and 7. He's 1 for 1 with 4 yards on the season. Bad execution, bad play calling. It was just overall bad, bad, bad. And honestly, there's no positivity in this game other than Garrett Williams, right? Like, what is your positivity from this game?
There's nothing, right? Like literally not much. There's nothing because at the end of the day, what I found out is our cornerback one is absolutely awful. Our quarterback is awful. Everything on offense is awful with Josh Dobbs orchestrating behind center. You can't get a good look. Offensive line, potentially your best player got ejected. And obviously, a lot of people are 50-50 on DJ Humphries, but he got ejected. Like, there's not many positives, right? And then you have this one kid who we've been preaching about, Garrett Williams. Let's go ahead and tell you about him real quick. First round, supposedly supposed to be a first-round draft pick, goes down in his college season, ends up tearing his ACL, falls to the 3rd round of the Arizona Cardinals. Not a lot of people are talking about him. Could have been a first-round pick, though, so let's just make that very clear. Garrett Williams, in his first game back, the Arizona Cardinals have yet to have an interception from any cornerback on the roster so far through – what is this? This is our 7th week. No corner has had an interception until this week. Debut game. Garrett freaking Williams takes it away from the quarterback, finally making game-changing plays. It's insane to think that this is literally his debut game coming off an ACL and he's the best corner on the roster. We were talking about this, literally talking about this. And it is so insane. It just goes to show how bad this team has been. And this defense has been pretty solid all season long. Not being able to force turnovers from the corners, you know, the turnovers come from other people. So it's insane to think that if we can get some competent corners lined up, that this team is probably going to be a lot better than they are. So if Garrett Williams pans out, which I'm praying is the case, it's going to be fantastic. You know, we just held the Seattle team to 20 points, and it felt like I don't even know what the time of possession was, but it feels like a bad number that I probably don't want to look at. But it's just insane. And then I don't even know. It's a lot, you know. We clearly need help, but Garrett Williams is not only a bright spot, he is a shining, glaring, like positive in this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's definitely the bright spot. Now, obviously, I did see here in the comments here that obviously another thing that was really kind of cool to see is our special teams ended up, forcing a forced fumble and kind of what was one of the sole reasons why the Arizona Cardinals were able to kind of get back into this game. Now, this is I don't know how much more. Like there's 10 games left, 10 games. Now, honestly, with this whole thing with Kyler Murray coming back, I think there was a report that came out over the weekend that they were saying maybe the Ravens game. But honestly, at this very moment, like it's just so hard to hold on to any hope because we're just saying the 7 weeks, man. This has been rough. I'm not gonna lie to you. This has been rough.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the defense and how they played in this game?
They played great.
Yeah.
Genuinely, they played great. Outside of Marco Wilson, really, I didn't have any complaints. I mean, Zaven Collins, obviously, he's not a pure pass rusher or anything, right? And he's playing outside linebacker, but I feel like after making the transition, you can kind of tell his football IQ is really glaring through. Like you can tell he's a very smart football player. Just middle linebacker wasn't really for him,
Right.
at the NFL level. And we kind of
Right.
saw that, but he's also not like a pure pass rusher. So he's just utilizing skills in different ways, and Nick Rallis is really getting him utilized. And obviously, Zaven Collins is the one making plays, but Zaven Collins is making really, really, really smart football plays. And then Budda Baker's impact clearly there. We saw it. Budda
Yeah.
Baker's flying all the way around the field. Obviously, he's anchoring the back end. We needed that help so bad. Without him, this defense is not even close to where they were. And it took Budda Baker a little bit. I mean, he's basically the Band-Aid to this defense.
Yeah.
He's bolstering everything up, and he's covering people's mistakes. And this corner group is not so good. And Garrett Williams wasn't starting off. Who was the other guy who played yesterday? It was his first start.
It was like
Something
I think
in the fourth. Starling
Starling.
Thomas or something.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yep.
He played really well as well. Better than Marco Wilson could have. Better than he did. Marco Wilson was just fried all game long, and I was so sick of it. I was so sick of it. Obviously, Starling Thomas gave up that insane touchdown in the back corner to Bobo, but
Yeah.
controversial call right there
Yeah.
as it stands. And then, yeah, I mean, the defense was balling out, and then special teams back-to-back weeks that we forced a fumble. Back-to-back weeks, special teams is balling out. They're doing their thing. So it's unfortunate when 2 or your 3 levels are doing their thing, and then your offense is just out here coming and blundering and not putting up the numbers they're supposed to. And Josh Dobbs, 33 pass attempts, less than 150 yards. It's ridiculous. I know this defense is kind of frustrated. They got to be. You have to be frustrated knowing that you're putting this team in a position to win every single game, and they're just falling short and short and short. Like there's a certain level. If you fall to 2 more games, if you lose 2 more games, I mean, there's not much you can do. This defense has done their thing.
100%. Yeah. And this is since the beginning of the season here for the Arizona Cardinals. I truly think that our defense, and we talked about this for multiple weeks, that like our team has so heavily depended on a defense that doesn't have a lot of star-studded players on there, but they got the passion. They got the will to fight, right? But the thing is that we don't have a defense that's going to give you full 60 minutes. We got a defense that's going to give you a half, right? And if our offense can't get their SHIT together, which they haven't been doing for the past several weeks, this is kind of the result that we're going to be seeing time in and time again. Now, obviously, going back to Zaven Collins here, yeah, he's got like 3.5 sacks on the season, along with 1 interception, 11 solo tackles. So he's doing his thing. He definitely is. Looking at the snap counts, Marco Wilson was 100% on the field at all times because he's probably still seen to be our best cornerback. And then we ended up getting Andre Chatre 100% as well. And then Starling V. Thomas, he was 100% as well. And then Garrett Williams only played 43% of the snaps, so 26 plays, and he got an interception, a huge, impactful interception for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Crazy. This corner room is going to need some help. It's going to take some readjusting. Marco Wilson, I don't know. Marco Wilson might be another name too. Gets thrown around at that deadline. I don't know if a team's going to want him, but I mean, if he's marketed as cornerback 1, maybe he's getting reps because they're trying to get rid of him. They're trying to like show him off, like, hey, listen, this is what he
Maybe.
can do. And then he just comes out and he performs it as nothing. It's like, okay, you're kind of hurting your draft stock, buddy. You're kind of
Yeah,
hurting
well,
your
I just
draft
feel at
stock.
this point, well, we got to give something up to get rid of him because then this guy is burnt
Not
toast.
good.
Yeah,
He
not good at
can't
all.
cover nothing. He got burnt by a receiver who almost ran a 5-second 40. Like, come on.
Yeah.
What is happening, Marco? Like, I don't understand. He's literally like the worst thing I've seen in a long time. We need him to step up. Like, if Marco Wilson can step up and play decent football, we're even better on defense. Like, fantastic on defense. Like, this game, we
Right.
would have shut everything down. Everything would have got shut down. But nope, of course not.
100%. All right, let's go ahead and dive into what JG ended up having to say about this game here. There's about a 30-second clip in terms of obviously the press conference right after Cardinals versus Seahawks. Let's dive right into it.
I think we improved on some things, all three phases today. That gives us some energy going into, hey, we said we wanted to improve these things. We got to keep improving these things. That's why I said I like to fight. Just got to fight a little bit better.
How important was Josh's ability to make plays with his feet?
Yeah, huge. You see it every week. You know what I mean? He gets us out of trouble at times. He extends plays. We missed a couple today when he extended them, and just that's, how the game went. But he does a good job with that.
Okay, so a couple different things to obviously dive into. First thing he said is that he felt like we gotten better and better each in all three phases of the game: special teams, defense, and offense. Let's take that portion first, and then we'll dive into what they talked about with Josh Dobbs. So you want to take it first?
I don't know how we've gotten better offensively. I don't. I see defensively. I see special teams. I see improvement every single week. Like, even if the defense is a bad week, they tend to bounce back or at least get slightly better. And now we're kind of back to the level we were at the beginning of the season through the first 4 weeks. Offense. How have we gotten better?
Heck no.
How have we gotten better? We beat Dallas. We've been in every game. We were scoring 20-plus points. We just scored 10 points. 0 points in the second half, back-to-back weeks. How are we getting better? Where's the improvement? Because without the freaking read option, Josh Dobbs has nothing. He can extend plays here and there, but even if he extends it, there's a lot of times the play doesn't result in anything. That read option, without that play right there, the 30-yard scramble for a touchdown, Josh Dobbs is cooked. And people keep telling me, like, this is, like, legit. Like, I can't believe my eyes. Because people still back Josh Dobbs and say he's starter quality. And I'm like, how on God's green earth are we looking at the product on the field and saying this is starter quality football? Like, are you kidding me? What are you looking at? Because, like, I don't see it. I'm at the point where I want Clayton Tune. I wanted Clayton Tune last week. I thought it was finally time. Like, genuinely, it was finally time. And it's still not here. And at this point, I really don't think it's going to come, which is kind of unfortunate because, Clayton Tune is a perfect passer in the NFL. He's 1 for 1. The guy is just, he throws dimes. So
Love it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just sick of it.
I agree with you, man. I wish JG didn't say that. Truly, I truly wish JG didn't say he feels like we gotten better on all senses, all three phases, because it's a flat out lie. Like you're gonna come out here and actually tell me, and this is what I'm talking about, right? But like you got to think of it all side of the coins, because like, what do you expect him to say? To me, don't say that at all, because that only frustrates me as a Cardinal fan. Because let's be honest, Josh Dobbs, short of what he did with that, like you said, right, that he tucked the pass in and took it for the touchdown. That's all he did. That's it. Josh Dobbs does 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 plays a game. Enough for people to say, oh, that's why he is in here before Clayton Tune, right? Like, seriously, like that's what we're holding hope to. We are 1-6, ladies and gentlemen, 1-6 with Josh Dobbs. How much more do you have to look at? Our offense has completely regressed. How are we not asking JG the real question? The real question should be, why are we scoring 97 points in the first 7 weeks of the season? Oh, sorry. Yeah. First 7 weeks of the season in the first half compared to 30 points. What's the answer to that, JG? Because to be honest with you, to me, all the excuses in terms of the coaching staff, I'm not saying fire JG, but something needs to be established here. Something needs to change, because with what we're doing, it's not working. It's not working. We're not even close in these last few games. It's an absolute obliteration, and I'm actually getting very tired of it. Truly, I really am. We're not getting better in all three phases because we're not. Our offense is bad. Bad.
Exactly. And then K1 made a comment right here, real quick, that I kind of want to bring up. He said, when our kicker looks more frustrated than our coach, it really tells me something. That field goal that Matt Prater missed, too, super crucial. Would have made it like a 13-20 ball game, I believe. Of course, did you watch it? What did you see what happened? The laces. Like, of course you're going to be frustrated. You know, it's literally a game-tying field goal. You're one of the best kickers of all time. The laces are facing you. These are reps that you cannot mess up. You get these reps all the time in practice as a special teams unit. This is literally all you practice. It's not like you're out here throwing 50-yard, 60-yard bombs. You have a routine kick to make it a one-score game, and the laces are facing one of the greatest kickers of all time. Just you can't have that. It's just unacceptable thing. I feel like nothing has gone right in terms of scoring points. Everything could have went wrong yesterday. And like you said, Josh Dobbs, man, I don't understand what it is. I don't know what the hold on is here. Because you have a record of 1-6. It's different if you win, like I said, you win that Giants game, then I kind of get it. Right? You have 2 wins and you're holding on to like what he's done in the past. It was still a loss. And granted, I know we're rebuilding and I know we're going through all this crap, but it's like, why not just see what Clayton Tune has? Like, what does it hurt you? Where's the negative? You could get a long-term backup. What if Josh Dobbs leaves in the offseason? He's literally a free agent. His contract's up. Clayton Tune is a rookie. Just play the guy, right? Like, what do you have to lose? On a rebuilding year with a record of 1-6, now it was 1-5 last week. I think we both wanted Clayton Tune to play. Where's the cons? Where can you lose? Where can you lose playing Clayton Tune, or at least just giving him a shot and seeing what he has? Like, genuinely, where is the negative? There is none. So why is he not on the field?
You're 100% right. And the idea of throwing him in there on that fourth down play to was it a fake punt, right? But we threw him in there. And I'm not blaming that on Clayton Tune, but it was very unfortunate that that's what they chose him to do, right? Like, they're like, okay, we got to play for you, buddy. We got to play for you. But this is what we're going to have you go out here and do. And here's the difference. Like, I'm seeing people in the comments and obviously some people backing us. You know, everybody doesn't have to agree with us, and that's completely fine. Here's the difference between rebuilding and where we are at right now, right? Rebuilding is promising that we're going to get better and the coaches are doing the exact same right things to try to get better, right? Doesn't mean that you don't choose to win, right? You could still win games and rebuild, right? Because I think people are getting conflicted with so badly wanting to get that high round pick, that second round pick, that they're getting diluted in their mind, thinking like, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine, because our offense is literally regressing in front of our eyes and nobody's doing anything about it. Our head coach has the power to do something about it, and he's refusing to do it. And I don't understand why. I truly believe that this whole conspiracy theory in terms of not trying to have a quarterback competition because maybe Clayton Tune might be better than Josh Dobbs might be a real thing. I don't know. But that's the thing. We don't know until we truly see what this kid can do. We're talking about a kid that's coming out of college with 40 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns prior year. We're not talking about some scrub. We're talking about a kid that plays football, right? A prototypical type of guy. And we gave Josh Dobbs the key to the Lamborghini. We gave him the keys to everything without proving anything because he knew the Drew Petzing, right? The Drew Petzing system. You're 1-6. What have you done? Nothing. I'm frustrated. As you can tell, Mythic, I'm frustrated.
I'm with you. I mean, there's only so much you can take in just watching the same thing every single year. I feel like that's why Kyler coming back is really going to kind of bolster up the emotion for every single Cardinals fan, because I feel like we're just going through the same thing. We're just riding the same roller coaster. And it's absolutely insane the fact the coaching staff keeps rolling into here and just assuming Josh Dobbs is the answer. We've seen the story before. We're done. We don't want to watch this. We want to see something to light a spark. I mean, we have a 1-6 record. The season is dubbed as it stands right now. It's cooked. We have no hope, no optimism. The offense is so figured out, it's insane. We could have scored 3 points this game, legitimately, or 6 points. Josh Dobbs, 1 read option. That's all he had. Like, genuinely, that is all he had. And without that read option, the offense is absolutely fried. How do you have 33 pass attempts and 146 yards? as an NFL quarterback. This is back-to-back weeks under 58% completion percent.
And
Josh Dobbs.
still missing that connection with Zach Ertz.
Literally,
Still.
like, I don't understand because, like, here's the thing. I don't think Zach Ertz is completely washed. I feel like he's
I don't think
definitely
so
taking regression. I really do. I feel like he's taking regression. I'm being really hard on Zach Ertz because I did call him trash and all this and blah, 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 blah. Because at the end of the day, if it touches your hands, you shouldn't drop it. Zach Ertz has looked horrible. But I feel like a lot of this is Josh Dobbs. Because if Kyler Murray's in the game, I promise you the connection is going to be on point. We've seen it. Josh Dobbs and Kyler connected way better than I've seen Kyler Murray with almost anybody besides DeAndre Hopkins. And it is crazy to just sit here and watch it. I don't even know. Like, people back Josh Dobbs. I'm so sick of the people who are backing Josh Dobbs in the nicest way possible. Like, the people who are watching this and like, oh, well, but like, it's like, shut up.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the truth.
genuinely, shut up. Because, like, what are we watching? Like, we're watching the same football game in the nicest way possible. And it's like, I see, like, what you're seeing, and for some reason, you're still backing him up. Like, I'm not understanding. Like, how is this the guy, like, long term that you said was better than Kyler Murray? There's people still standing 10 toes on that. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like, what are you watching? What are you watching? I want to know how many games Kyler Murray's passed under 58% completion percent. Like, I'm genuinely curious. How many games has he been one off of incompletions to completions? I get it. We're not turning the ball over, but I mean,
Yeah.
Drew Petzing, it seems like Drew Petzing's comfortable getting 3 yards a drive and just turning the ball over, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
that's
oh
the
yeah,
thing.
we scored, or we got 3 yards, didn't turn the ball over, we ended up punting. It's a win. Like, it's what it feels like at the end of the day, you know? Oh, we didn't turn it over. It's a
Right.
win. Like, okay, cool. We still need to get down the point. We need to get down the damn field, and we need to score touchdowns. We need to score field goals. It doesn't matter. We need to score points in the second half. We're just so complacent with mediocrity. It's ridiculous. And I'm so sick of it too. Like, I'm genuinely so sick of it. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep rolling out Josh Dobbs, the answer, the guy who hasn't done jack squat in the past, like, 3-4 weeks? Like, Cincinnati was the last game we were semi-competitive in. At halftime, the game was over.
Yeah.
So
Because
what are we
can't
doing?
figure it out.
What are we doing? Like, where's the direction here? Like, I feel like you just go with the young guy, see what he has. Like, that's what you got to do, you know? Like, I don't understand. I feel like you just got to spice it up, give teams a different look because the offense is completely figured out.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go with Deus here. Deus with the contribution. He says they won't put Tune in because it could cause a quarterback controversy. If they actually win all these games, I can't help think that now he has an arm. What are your thoughts on this? With my whole little rant that I just talked about, and obviously Deus is coming out here saying the same thing. What are your thoughts on, like, let's say, for example, Clayton Tune does come in here? Because let's be honest, we talked about this multiple times. Football is decided by 2 to 3 to 4 huge plays that are momentum shifters, and Josh Dobbs isn't making those plays. What if Clayton Tune can make those plays and we are finding ourselves in a 2-win season? And that's sad, right? It's so sad that we can take 2 wins and say, oh my God, let's go, right? It's sad. It really is. Cardinal fan base, look at yourself in the mirror and say, that's really sad, because it is. But let's be honest, if Clayton Tune could come in here and actually make that throw or two, because he's got the training camp, you know, he's got all the things that he was supposed to do. Clayton Tune did that. And then literally we traded for Josh Dobbs and we said, here's the keys. Here you go. You know, Drew Petzing, you're the best quarterback on our roster. Is he? Is he though? What are your thoughts on this whole quarterback controversy thing?
I don't think that. Okay, I'm trying to, like, think about how to elaborate this. I don't think Clayton Tune is better than Josh Dobbs, but without reps, you can't get better. You're kind of stuck at one place. And we know what Josh Dobbs' ceiling is. We know where he plateaus at. He's not getting better than good starter or good backup football. We know his ceiling. We don't know Clayton Tune's ceiling. We've never seen him take an NFL snap. So you might as well put the young kid in there and see what he has. And although he's probably not better right now, I don't think it's going to cause a quarterback controversy or anything. I feel like he will prove to be better over time. Obviously, he's 1 year in. He's never started. Josh Dobbs has started games in the past for other teams. Obviously, I think it was like 1 or 2 games, but like he still started. He's still gotten NFL reps. Clayton Tune hasn't gotten that opportunity. And this is the year right now where if you were to get him, it's probably right now in meaningless football. Like, right? Go see what you have. Let's go see. We're 1-6. You do have weapons on offense. It's not like this offense is horrible. You freaking Zach Ertz, Trey McBride, Hollywood Brown, Michael Wilson. And I'm throwing a bunch of names out there that might not seem like star players, but I promise you it's more than enough. Offensive line is like average So, I mean, you have things out there. So to put up 10 points, it's crazy. And I know there's people in the comments talking about like Rome wasn't built in a day, but we were given optimism in the beginning of the season to show what we were fully capable of. We're fully capable of competing with teams. We competed yesterday, right? The defense put us in a position to win this game.
Yeah.
And the offense failed. And we have a quarterback behind who everybody wants to see. And I want to see as well, because like, what does it hurt? It doesn't hurt you whatsoever. You might as well just throw the kid in and see what he has. It's hurting us knowing that we have someone behind him who could be a long-term backup just sitting there and not doing anything. He's literally sitting there, and they decide to put him in on freaking 4th and 9, 4th and 7, whatever it is, and throw a 4-yard
Yeah.
a 4-yard pass. Complete, though. But a 4-yard pass. Are you serious? This is what we're going to do with Clayton Tune? You're not even going to give him a legitimate shot. That's the first look we have, and it's just a super negative connotation now because it's like, does this kid not know sticks and downs? Does he not know where the first down was? Like, that's what it is, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, that is the most insane play call. Like, maybe they got the sticks wrong on the camera, right? Maybe the Cardinals knew where to go, and they threw that little dink and dunk on a curler, an hour, whatever it was, on the right sideline because that's where the first down was. Maybe the TV got it wrong. And then when you realize it was legitimately 4th and 7 or 4th and 9, it's like, what the heck did I just watch? That is probably the worst play call I've ever seen in my life. So it's super weird. I wish the kid was given a fair shot because what do you have to lose? I mean, there's no one better in front of him at this point, in my opinion. Like, he might be slightly better, but like there's not someone like insanely better. Like, the talent gap isn't Kyler to Clayton Tune. It's Josh Dobbs to Clayton Tune.
Right.
You know where Josh Dobbs plateaus at. Like, what is like my thing is, what is the purpose, right, of starting Josh Dobbs right now? If Josh Dobbs is legitimately your best way of winning football games, that's fine, right? If you genuinely believe that deep down, that's fine. I'm not knocking you for starting Josh Dobbs whatsoever. But at a record of 1-6, clearly he's not winning you football games. He's regressing.
Badly.
So where do you go from here? You have one option, in my opinion, until Kyler Murray comes back. Just see what the kid has for 2 to 3 games. Like, it's that simple.
And that's the thing. And we're not even expecting wins. That's the thing. As Cardinal fans, another thing to look yourself in the mirror, Cardinals fans, and this is really sad. We're not expecting wins from Clayton Tune. We're expecting to see, can he make those throws, those 1 or 2 or 3 game deciding plays? Is he able to make those, right? That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for Clayton Tune's going to come in here and save the day. Now, kind of going back to the quarterback controversy, Mythic, if you don't mind real quick, because we know this fan base. So yes, if Clayton Tune does win a game, you know how much people are going to say Clayton Tune over Kyler Murray. Although we both know that Clayton Tune is nowhere in the realm of what Kyler Murray could do. But we've seen this fan base go through it already with Josh Dobbs when we beat the Dallas freaking Cowboys that we beat all the time, right? So I think it will start off a quarterback controversy because we do know what this fan base is. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, looking at it that way, you're not wrong. It's just like the delusion. I feel like a spark of hope gets anybody excited. Like the next Brock Purdy, the next Tom Brady. He's coming in. Oh my gosh, this kid, he's so transcendent with his 1 touchdown and 175 yards and a win when the offense puts up 16 points. Like, good job, Clayton Tune. Like that would be the thing. Like, the defense holds them to 10 points and we win 16-10. And Clayton Tune to twist it up for 175 yards and like a 58% completion percent with a touchdown. And it's like, oh my God, you just beat a crazy team. Like, it'll probably be the defense who beat the team genuinely, but Clayton Tune did enough. Like, that's the thing. If we won this game, I feel like the defense would have won the game for us, with special teams obviously attributing because they caused a big fumble. Without that fumble, I mean, all things are breaking loose. I don't even think we scored, but it's just a momentum shifter. It keeps Seattle away, keeps the defense off the field. So I don't know. I feel like the fan base is very diluted and delusional as well as me and as well as you sometimes.
Me too.
I will very well. Yeah, I'll very well admit this. I have delusional takes as well. I mean, I'm not going into the season expecting wins, but the fact we're competitive, it's like just seeing these games slip away. It's frustrating because I know we're so much better than what we are, which is crazy because going into the season, I still projected us as a 3 to 5 win team. And here we are. We honestly have been in every game besides like 1 or 2. So I don't know. It's tough. But I think you're right. I feel like the controversy would spark. You're not wrong. And I really didn't think about it like that because Josh Dobbs is getting compared to Kyler Murray at this point.
It's
And
wild.
it's insane because I even had people in my comment section, like my comment section is literally telling me that Kyler Murray wouldn't have made a difference in this game. Not even joking. Like a lot of people are like consensusly saying that Kyler Murray wouldn't have made a difference. I'm like, he probably would have won this game for us. And they're like, no, it just wouldn't have happened. I'm like, are we thinking the same? Like,
But
are we talking about the same guy? Like, is he just this disrespected that he's just so bad now in like the mind of everybody? Like, is Kyler Murray just this poverty quarterback who's just so average and has regressed so much that he's on the level of Josh Dobbs and they're just like even quarterbacks and that Kyler Murray is going to come in here and pass 58% and 6 touchdowns through 7 games? No, especially with James Conner playing at the level he did. This offense would have flourished. Like, what are people talking about? I'm so confused. Like, I don't get it. Right? Like, how do you not think Kyler Murray is the consensus number 1? I can't wrap my head around it. Like, I keep thinking, like, what has Josh Dobbs genuinely showed? And I like thought about it because, like, I'm like, maybe I'm the idiot here. Like, maybe I'm delusional. And I'm like, let me see. Sat back. I'm like, wait a minute. No, that conversation in my head took 2 seconds because I'm like, no, not at all. Not at all. And I feel like we've ranted about this enough times to kind of get the point out, but we're not wrong. Me and you aren't wrong. Kyler Murray is clearly better than anybody. Like,
anybody we have in this roster, that's absolutely factual. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we're going back to what we said. We're not talking about Clayton Tune as the next best thing. We just want to see if he can be that forever backup for the Cardinals. And we're 1-6. That's where we're at. We're number 2 in the NFL draft right now. That's where we're at.
Yep.
And that's what people are looking at. And I don't blame Cardinal fans, right? It is what it is, right? We are here because of the organization that we are. It's a constant rebuild. It's a constant turnstile of we're good 2 years. We rebuild for 4 to 5 years. It's what it is. And it sucks. I really hope that this new regime can get it right. But let's talk about this real quick. Now, there's a little quick edit that I want to make here. How do we force 3 turnovers and get, it's actually 3 points out of it? But it's the truth. How? We've talked, our offense is terrible. It's terrible. It is as plain as that. Josh Dobbs ain't it. He's shown us flashes, but that's it. Go ahead.
Yeah. How do we get 3 turnovers and score 10 points the rest of the game? Can't answer it. Like, I literally cannot answer it. It is absurd. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. Like, Kyler, please come back. Like, I'm just sitting here. Like, the depression's kicking in. The 1-6 is kicking in. It's hitting me full effect. Like, please, just come back. Save the day. Like, I hate to be the person who's like, Kyler, just carry the offense. Because that's what it was all last season. That's what it was the season before. He's the Band-Aid to Cliff Kingsbury. But I don't know. Like, what else do you do at this point? Like, James Conner, as soon as he went down, I told you things are going to break.
Oh, yeah.
This offense is going to break. And people are like, James Conner's not the offense. It's more than him. I'm like, okay.
Watch. Yeah.
I just watch. Like, I don't have to tell you anything. Like, yeah. I think you knew it too. Like, I literally said that, and you're like, you're right. You're right. It's going to happen because James Conner is like the workhorse. We looked up his numbers, and we're like, dang, they're even better than I thought they were.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, as soon as he goes down, look at the offense. Like, the run game wasn't even bad yesterday. Don't even get me wrong. Demicardo had like 4.5 yards a pop and 13 carries for like 58 yards or something. That's pretty decent. 4.5 yards a carry for a backup. We'll take that on 13 rushes. We'll take it. That's not bad. Obviously, smaller sample size than most, but like, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And then we just can't get anything going. Don't get it. I really don't understand. Like, what in the world is going on? Don't know. It's just the offense is just so mediocre. Like, we're just so complacent with mediocrity and just letting Josh Dobbs ride this thing out. And
it's wild, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Jonathan Gannon's got to make a switch. Like, this is where it comes down to. Like, I know we're like fine losing games at the end of the day, but like, don't you at least want to be competitive? See what you got? And like a potential long-term backup. This is a kid they drafted. It's not like it's a Steve Keim guy. This is someone they literally drafted in the 6th round. Like, just go put him on the field. Go
Let's
test
see what he
him.
can do. Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. Like, obviously they see him in practice every single day and they're evaluating him, but why does it hurt? Let's see what he can do with first team talent, first team reps. What is it going to do? You know, like, is he going to come out here and ball out that much? Cool. You have a long-term backup. See what Kyler has. It's not like it's going to negate you from playing Kyler. You're going to play Kyler regardless. They're paying
Exactly.
him $230 million. It's not like you're going to just bench him. And even if you do take that route and Clayton Tune is just literally the best quarterback, cool. You have a quarterback long-term then. Go ahead and try to use Clayton Tune and then trade Kyler Murray if that's the case. Like super hypothetical.
Right.
This is like super insane. But like that's the case. What are we doing? Like, what's the point? I can't wrap my head around it. And I'm just like, just so confused right now. Like, it makes no sense.
And that's what I was talking about earlier in the stream. We're now starting to question our head coach. That's not good. As JG, and I get it, he can care to, SHITs, right? About what the outside noise says. But you get this fan base to the point where we're not even starting to believe in you. You really truly want to win games, or are you just coming out here and saying, Josh Dobbs, you're the veteran, you got this, you got this? Because I think me and you agreed that Clayton Tune beat out Colt McCoy in his quarterback battle, right?
Absolutely.
Colt McCoy was absolutely dog water. And to me, it was like, okay, well, Colt, obviously we got a young kid coming in here and we're excited. Let's see what he can do. Obviously all the draft, not all, but most of the draft picks that Monty Ossenfort has picked up has looked pretty darn good so far. So I was excited about that. We traded here for Josh Dobbs and literally gave him the keys to the Lamborghini. He said, okay, you take it, you run. We convinced ourselves, okay, Drew Petzing, all right, let's see what you can do. It hasn't worked. We're 1-6.
So crazy. I'm just praying to God James Conner comes back as well soon, because what do we do? Like, where does this offense go? Where are the bright holes?
We're 1-6. Like
what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
There's no bright holes. Like, we're just stuck in
isn't.
just poverty right now. Like, there's nowhere to go. And it's like you said, the fact that we're even questioning our head coach right now is not a good look, because like, why are you playing Josh Dobbs? Like, these are back-to-back. If he rocks with Josh Dobbs going into this next week, then it's chalked. You know what I mean? This game is over. This Ravens defense is going to get after it regardless. They're going to get after it regardless.
Regardless if it's Clayton Tune or regardless if it's Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs
could have been Kyler too. It could have been Kyler too, and they're still going to get after it. It would have been a lot more competitive with Kyler, but like, they're going to get after it with these backup quarterbacks. They don't give a dang.
Yeah.
They're going to come out here and they're going to attack. I mean, this Ravens defense is top 3 in the league right now. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not like Josh Dobbs is legitimately going to do anything. Like, there is not anything in the world that Josh Dobbs is going to do in this game that's going to be like, wow, you know what? Maybe he is the answer. Like, he could be a backup for us. That's fine. I'm not mad if Josh Dobbs is a long-term backup, right? You just can't have him play starter football constantly. You just can't do it. We've seen it time and time again. Josh Dobbs, if he has to start 3 games in a row, it's probably not going to bode well for you. There's enough tape on Josh Dobbs now. I think before the Cardinals season, he started, 2 games, 1 game in the NFL?
I think.
So
Something
now
like
there's more than plenty of tape out there on the 2023 Josh Dobbs. We got the new model on film. So, I mean, everything is figured out. All of his tendencies are on film. The Cardinals are playing very vanilla with him. They're trying not to turn the ball over. It's very apparent. It's what it is. I mean, less than 150 yards on 33 attempts. You're not getting numbers like that if the offensive coordinator trusts you. If he trusts you, he's going to be airing that thing out. How many deep shots did we see last night? Not many.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I don't think very many.
Not many, if any at all. So, I mean, clearly they're trying to just baby Josh Dobbs and just take it all the way as much as they can. Yeah, way too coddled with nothing to show for it. Like, literally perfect. Perfect.
Are we the only ones talking about this? Like, I don't know. I don't listen to any other, but tell me everybody in the chat here. But it's crazy. It's crazy to me that we're not standing on our soapbox right now and hearing more people talk about this, because everybody has it in their mind that we're rebuilding, right? That we should be losing. This is the trend that we're supposed to be doing because we want Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's fine, right? Okay, that's okay. But you can't keep putting the same CRAP type of product on the field and still allowing Josh Dobbs this, right? It's one of those things that I feel that frustrates me to the core. And this even goes back to the Steve Keim days where the Cardinals feel like we are the smartest people out in the world, right? We know something you don't, right? All the NFL, you guys are all dumb. We're smart because we found the diamond in the rough. Your diamond in the rough right now is 1-6, ladies and gentlemen. 1-6. And this isn't supposed to be the knock on Josh Dobbs story, but he's getting the flack on it for the decisions of Jonathan Gannon. So I apologize, Josh Dobbs. You might be the most wonderful human being, and you actually seem like a really cool dude. You really do.
He does, like,
Yeah,
genuinely.
genuinely, he seems like a really, really cool guy. And I hate that we're here right now because this is the decisions of our head coach. He's refusing to make the change. Why? Why can't we ask him the serious question? What are you seeing from Josh Dobbs? Explain to me, because in this press conference, you told me we got better in offense, defense, and in special teams. You felt like we got better. You must be out of your mind delusional if you think our offense has gotten better, because it hasn't.
Right. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's 3 glaring holes on the team, and it's quarterback, it's tight end, and it's corner. Marco Wilson, Zach Ertz, Josh Dobbs. Make the change. Trey McBride. I feel like Trey McBride got a lot more snaps this game. I don't know if you noticed that too, but I feel like Trey McBride took more steps. Marco Wilson played 100%, was literally the corner one the entire game. Inexcusable. I hope he's getting shopped around or something, or he's in the process of getting cut or something. I don't know. Whatever it is, I hope he's out of here. And I hate talking crap on players who are great off the field. Like
I
Josh
agree.
Dobbs and Zach Ertz, it pains me. Like, genuinely
too.
it does, to like call him trash, because I like him off the field. Zach Ertz is a great human off the field. Literally one of the best of all time. One of the best people off the field in the NFL. Super nice guy. Josh Dobbs appears to be the exact same. Great social media presence. Funny. Seems like a great guy. Great interacting with the fans. But it's like, if it's not the best product on the field, it's not the best product on the field. And you just got to call it how it is. That's the thing. So it sucks because I don't like down talking on any of them. But it's like, just these players, you got to, you know? Like, obviously, we're not going to reach Jonathan Gannon, and Jonathan Gannon's not going to watch one of our YouTube videos and be like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to take Marco Wilson out now. But like, you just you gotta just push it. You gotta push an agenda, and you gotta like try your hardest to just like vocalize it into the community as much as possible, because it's ridiculous. Like, what? Like, I don't understand. And it's nice to like have some people on the same page as us, because it's like, just, we're so tired of whatever's going on. And obviously this season was supposed to be chalked from the beginning. Understand that, right? We completely understand that. I promise you, we are fully on board. But we had a glimpse of optimism. And this defense has played pretty dang well for what we've had to go through. Budda Baker was gone.
Yep.
Carlos Watkins was gone. LJ Collier was gone. We have no legitimate starting corners on the roster through 5 weeks of the NFL season. Jalen Thompson's out with a hamstring the past 2 games. You're very hindered, on top of the fact that your best player on offense, Kyler Murray, is out. You're very hindered everywhere. And the fact the defense is playing at the level they were and the special teams is playing at the level they were, you need the offense to step up a little bit, right? And obviously James Conner is playing at an all-pro level, and we're still not getting it done. We had like a 1-4 record with James Conner playing at that level. So it's insane. Insane. Just the regression that we've seen every single year, or not every single year, every single week so far. It's just a regression on offense. And the defense had like 2 games, 2 outings where they haven't been great, but the offense doesn't help them in any way. Like, everything that the offense can do to hurt the defense, are doing it. Time of possession, just 3 and outs, not being able to do anything, giving bad field position. Like, it's just what the offense has done. And it's very unfortunate to watch. That glimmer of hope is literally all it was. Like, if we didn't have a glimmer of hope and could easily have 2-3 wins on the front end of the season, I wouldn't be talking like this. I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, this is the Cardinals. This is what we do. I mean, we're in a rebuild year. It's fine. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But we made that trade, and it's like, okay, this is a competitive move, you know? Jonathan Gannon and Monty Ossenfort clearly believe that they are in a position to like actually legitimately win football games, because you're not going to go trade for a quarterback if you don't think he's better. And the fact that we're sitting here and we're like actually competing in games, it's like, whoa, didn't really see that coming. Didn't see the competitiveness and the fire in everybody's guts, ready to just compete like this. And they're at a level where it's like surpassing anybody's expectations. And now we're coming in here and just regressing every single week. So it's just like the clear answer, the writing's on the wall. Are you gonna make the call? Are you gonna make the call, Jonathan Gannon? The writing's on the wall.
Yeah, no, I think it's greatly explained, honestly, because you're right. I here's the thing. Like, my fear is that culturally, like if they decide not to bring a lot of these people back, which it might be the case, right? We have a lot of guys that have the fight or the fire in their gut, right? Especially on the
Yeah.
defensive side of the ball. The offense, I get rid of all of them. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just joking. But the defense has shown promise, and I think that's what we're holding hope to. When does our defense look to our offense and say, y'all guys ain't doing a damn thing. Why should we try when you're not trying, right? It's human behavior. It's psychology. It's the fact that when you're at work, you notice that you're working harder than your coworker, but they get paid more than you, or they're getting paid the same amount of you. You're like, why the heck am I working this hard, right? It's going to be the same thing. When is the defense going to say, enough's enough, right? We're putting our heart and soul, but the offense can't get it together. We need to make sure that this culturally, this coaching staff and this team is fully aware that we need to make those hard decisions. And right now, JG isn't doing it. So that's the big concern for me is that, JG, how can you continue to block out this noise to get into the ears of our defense, right?
Yep.
Because the defense is playing good. They're just hard, right? Short of Marco Wilson, we're playing pretty darn good. Enough to keep us into these games, because the Seattle Seahawks, they're a good team. Believe it or not, they're a darn good team. And being that we lost at 10 points, you can either think of it as positively, right? Oh, we only lost by 10 points by the Seahawks. They're a good team. Or you can look at it as, what can we do to get better? And that's the way I'm looking at it. What can we do to get better?
That's not even a negative way. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. Because I'm not going to be the ones, the moral victories to me is over, right? I'm not going to be sitting here and saying, oh, we only lost by 10 points, doody-doody-doo, ha, 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 let's move on to the next week. No, my mind process is, okay, that's cool, but how can we continue to get better and build off of this 10-point loss to a team that might be playoff bound? We're regressing, Mythic. That's the problem. We're regressing week after week after week, and our offense has nothing to show for it. And JG comes out and saying, we're looking better on all three phases of the football. What the heck are you talking about, dude?
Insane. And the defense has been so iffy, right? Because we're giving up big numbers to like certain individuals. Like obviously the McCaffrey game is the one that stands out to me as like just complete wrecking ball. And then you have Jamar Chase as well, who kind of wreaked havoc in the second half. All momentum was lost on the offensive side of the ball in that game. And I don't know. It's crazy. Just everything has gone wrong for the Cardinals this year. And you just hit it you hit the nail on the hammer. The Cardinals have a decision to make. Will they make it? Will they trend this team in a positive direction? Or is Josh Dobbs just so over with this team and just like so over with the coaching staff and so over with the locker room that it's just like impossible for them to come to grips with benching him? Does he have that much of a hold on the locker room? Like, is a gravitational pull that much bigger than Clayton Tunes would be? I'm not sure. I feel like a lot of people in the locker room do love him. Same with the coaching staff. So it might be harder for them to bench him, but it just seems like the right call.
I agree. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look down memory lane, right? We got about 8 minutes left here in the podcast. Everybody here in the chat, definitely go ahead and let me know how you guys feel about this, because truly, if Kyler Murray comes back and starts winning games, obviously we ain't talking about this, but like realistically, the way we look right now with Josh Dobbs, man, we can be in for a world of hurt. And people are going to probably ask themselves, what's the point of starting Kyler, right? So let's dive into memory lane here real quick. Let's go as back as when Ken Wisenhunt started, right? When he first started his very first year, Ken Wisenhunt, right? The guy who took us to the Super Bowl. He had 8 wins. 8.
Yeah.
8 wins in his first season. Bruce Arians, 10 wins. Mythic, 10 wins for Bruce Arians. Steve Wilkes, 3 wins. And he was a one-and-done coach. Cliff Kingsbury, that we love to rag on, haha, he's so dumb, 5.5 wins. Are you going to make the decision, Jonathan Gannon? Truly. You don't want to have this fan base to start talking, because yes, we have a portion of the fan base that is living in la la land and saying things like, oh, we're rebuilding. That's fine. That's fine. But realistically, you need to be better than Cliff. I get it. I want Marvin Harrison as much as the next guy does, but you need to be better than Cliff Kingsbury. And I get it. There's very limitations. We strip this roster down. I get it. But your job as a head coach is to win games.
Yeah. I'm not mad if we are like unable to close this. I don't know. Tough. It's tough because I feel like we should have a way better record than we do right now. And Jonathan Gannon could have a way better record as it stands right now. We wouldn't even be having these discussions if we can just close out games and finish what's actually on the field. And I mean, you got a record of 1 win right now. It's not looking great. I mean, the fan base can really turn on you. And a split second. And even if Jonathan Gannon does win 2 or 3 games, I don't think he'll get fired at the end of the day. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are bought in, but I don't know. I just don't know how over Josh Dobbs is in the locker room to like, if he got benched, would it be like a polarizing move?
Right.
I'm not sure. Like, is it going to affect the team chemistry? I'm not sure. Maybe that plays a part. Maybe Josh Dobbs is just so over with the team that like you bench him and it's like the whole defense is like, oh, well, that's our best chance. Like, I don't know. But like at the end of the day.
So you're talking about like the belief in the team that Josh Dobbs is the best option is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, like the defense is so bought in to like that's the best, or like anybody's so bought in because I feel like everyone rallies around Josh Dobbs. I feel like they'd rally around anybody. So I don't know. It's just Josh Dobbs was given the opportunity and Clayton Tune wasn't. So we see people buying in because Josh Dobbs can make a big play here and there. And when he makes a big play, everyone goes crazy. So I don't know. I feel like Clayton Tune can come in here and do decent things. I feel like he's going to be a better passer. I don't know if he's going to be able to run the ball nearly as well. Probably not. I can almost guarantee that. And extend plays the way Josh Dobbs does. But even if Josh Dobbs does extend plays, I mean, sometimes it doesn't result in anything. Sometimes it results in a good third down conversion by using your legs. But are we really holding on to that? No, I'm not. Maybe they are, though. And that's what kind of got to think about. And I don't even like thinking about that because it's like, obviously you have NFL antics and politics, but like, I don't think he's that over. Like, maybe he is, but I don't think it's even close to worth it because this team is way better than 1-6. I think we can all agree.
I agree. And I think that's where the frustration is. I think that's where the frustration comes from me. I can't speak for the fan base, but for me, is going back to that saying, right? The definition of insanity is you expecting a different result, but doing the same thing over and over again. Something needs to change. Like it needs to get to a point where like you need to convince the fan base. And here's the thing, there's a business side, right? Like I'm not saying, oh, you need to make us happy, right? You need puppies, unicorns, you need to be able to do this. But Michael Bidwell probably needs to step up and saying, hey man, Josh Dobbs ain't doing it. Our ticket sales has completely went shot. Nobody wants to watch this product, right? Or maybe even Monty Austin for, because he's probably more on the analytical side, on the business side of it all, that most people right now are turned off with the Arizona Cardinals. Every week that goes by, we look at the draft stock and we're like, okay, cool. It's so sad. We got 10 weeks left. 10 weeks and there's no hope. We're 1-6. It's very sad. Very sad.
Very. I just hope Clayton Tune actually gets a shot before Kyler comes back. Because if we go this stretch and we go 1-8 without seeing what Clayton Tune looks like, it'll be pretty disappointing. I think we can all agree. It'd be very disappointing. So I just hope he gets that shot once and for all.
I agree. 19 of 33, 146 yards ain't going to cut it. Marquise Hollywood-Brown was 3 receptions, 49 yards. Going back to this game here, remember when we talked about the players that were going to break out? Kenneth Walker, I think we pulled, he went over 100. I guess he didn't break out, but he went over 100 yards on the Cardinals, which makes sense. But give it to the Cardinals to allow a rookie wide receiver to get his first touchdown, right? The first of everything for the Arizona Cardinals. And we allowed Jackson Smith and Jigba to get 4 receptions, 63 yards, and 1 touchdown. Of course, with DK Metcalf not there, he got the opportunity and he took it. He took it and ran.
I feel like that would have been DK Metcalf. I feel like that was like he was in the slot of the player that I thought was going to break out. And I even made the comment because we were talking. I was like, Jackson Smith, I mean, DK was even talking highly about him. If Jackson Smith gets that opportunity, because I'm really high on him too.
Yeah.
And DK Metcalf was obviously talking very positive, and he's like, as soon as this kid gets an opportunity, he's going to break out. And I was like, let's just hope it's not against us. I don't know if you remember me saying that, but I was like, let's just hope it's not against us, because, I mean, it probably will happen. First NFL touchdown, just wide open. I was like, God bless America. Here we go. Like, here we go. And, of course, I mean, what did he have, like 7 receptions for like 60-something yards and a touchdown?
Yeah, I think he was 4 receptions, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there it is. There's his opportunity. And Kenneth Walker just had a field day, 4 yards a carry, like 26 carries, 108 yards or something like that. Like,
105 yards. Geno Smith didn't have a great game. He didn't.
No, that's why the Cardinals did everything they needed to do to win this game. I said, you're going to have to get Geno Smith to play bad, turn the ball over. We're going to have to force turnovers. Did that. We're going to have to establish a run game is what you said. We kind of did that. 13 carries. Josh Dobbs even extended plays. We did that. And then we said Josh Dobbs is going to have to be on it. Didn't happen. And where does it fall down to? I mean, it falls down right there. And we're going to have to score points in the second half. Didn't do that either. So, I mean, the Cardinals have a recipe to success here. And you have to play dang near perfect football. But if you play it right, you're going to be in games. The Cardinals are in games.
Yeah.
Just can't win them. Or they're just not pulling it off. They can definitely win them, but they're just not doing it.
Well, that's the problem, man. So I appreciate you guys, everyone, for tuning in. We have hit the hour mark. We're going to close up shop here. Hopefully this therapy session was able to help out one of you guys out there. If you guys haven't already, smack the like button or haven't chose to follow us here on Apple Podcast, definitely do so. We are streaming on there. And basically we have the podcast version on there. Take us on the go. Make sure you go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And if you want to go ahead and leave us a review, you can definitely do so as well. So we're going to be closing up shop. Mythic, appreciate you here as always. Thank you. This therapy session also obviously helped out everybody in the chat. Thank you so very much for coming through. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.